Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about how you can make changes in your business to hit six figures. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about the most important changes I made in my business so I could start hitting regularly 10 and 20K. That's $10,000 and $20,000 months. If you guys don't know, my name is Sephora. I'm a licensed attorney and a business coach. I help professional women making six figures start their business. If that sounds like you and you're ready to start your business or scale your business, click the link in my bio or go to www.sephoragray.com so we can see how I can help you, okay? Let's jump into the video. The very first thing that I did to really start scaling my business and really see these big changes that actually allowed me to reach, right, these $10,000 and $20,000 months so I could hit six figures is number one, I started charging according to my time and charging according to value. So you probably hear this all the time, but it is so important. And so when people say raise your prices, it is true. Like, it's not just willy-nilly prices or price guesses, but it's actually you're charging according to what your time is worth and what value you are offering to your client. So I'm going to give you some concrete examples here, right? So the first example I will give is as a business coach. So as a business coach, I help my clients go from 0 to 100, right? So I help you get your business fully running, up and starting, off the ground, ready to go, ready for you to start making money. So concrete example, if you start working with me from scratch, you have absolutely nothing done. And we work together, let's just say over a 6 month period to go from 0 to nothing. Your business is up and running, you start making money. And within that first year or year and a half of you working with me, you make, let's just put a random number, that first $50,000, then that is the value, right? That is the value that I have just given you, because before you were making nothing, and then you have your business up and running and you have made thus far in the 6 months after working with me $50,000. And let's say a year down the line, you make six figures, you make $100,000. So that is the value that I am giving to you, right? And put in more concrete terms, if you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I price this? Ask yourself, what is the value you are giving to someone else? What is the value you are giving to the customer? So let's give another concrete example. As an attorney, let's just say someone comes to me and they need a divorce done, right? They are going through this divorce and my rate is $300 per hour. And let's just assume, let's just assume my total fee after everything is $10,000, right? But in that divorce settlement and hiring me, you just saved yourself $500,000. So ask yourself, if that was you, would you invest $10,000 to save $500,000 in a divorce settlement? The answer is clear. The answer is yes, right? And so it's the same thing you have to ask yourself when you're deciding how you want to price. Ask yourself, what is that value that you give? And so for me, I know the value I give to my clients, right? And so I know that I am charging according to my worth. I'm charging according to the value you are getting. So that's what you have to ask yourself is, what is the value you give to others? Obviously large scale examples, but break it down into pieces. If you're doing one-on-one sessions, right? Maybe you're offering a healing session. What is the value of the healing you are giving to someone, right? So that's just one way that you're going to think about how you're pricing your offer. The second way is your time. Like, obviously this is how most people do it. Most people do it according to, okay, like I charge hourly, here's my hourly rate. And I think that is great. I think that's definitely a great way to charge. But let's just say, for example, it only takes you 5 hours to do something that's worth $100,000. Are you going to only charge, and your hourly rate is $100? Are you going to only charge $500 if the value they would be getting is $100,000? No, right? And so that's why I encourage you to use both value that you give that's concrete and verifiable and time. So just another concrete example with the time, for example, as an attorney, I'm not giving my time, my hour to anyone for less than $300 an hour, right? Hourly wise, it's not worth my time to sit with you for less than $300 an hour, okay, right? So like, think about it both ways. And that's what I did in my business. I started asking myself, what is the value I'm giving this client and what is my hourly rate? And how do those things come together to make up my prices? That's how I encourage you to do it. And before I move on, the very last example I have for you, because you guys know my first business, law school coaching, every single one of my clients got scholarships to go to law school. A lot of them went to law school for free, right? For free. So saving hundreds of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. What would you invest in a law school coach to save 200,000, to save hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to law school for free. So that's how I want you to think about what you're charging. And so when people say raise your prices, it's very true. If you're trying to hit six figures, you can't be charging $25. You can't be doing hourly sessions for $50. You won't hit six figures that way. There's just not enough time in the world. So the second thing that I did was I changed my coaching model to one that is scalable, right? So typically one-on-one coaching is not a scalable coaching model. Why? Because there's only so many hours in the day to do one-on-one coaching. You only have so much in you to do one-on-one coaching, right? And so while I still do one-on-one coaching in my business model and in my business coaching, that's not like the main priority, right? The main priority is, okay, thinking about what is scalable and how can I coach multiple people at once, or what is my main offer going to be to where multiple people can get this great value from me and I can also get more bang for my buck. And so thinking about what's scaling. So another way that I implemented scaling is thinking about a continuity program. So how can I keep people in a program that keeps providing them value and it gives me some sort of recurring income? So I guess this is actually number 3, right? And for me, this was a retainer service, right? I allow my clients to book retainers. I allow my business coaching clients to do packages, to do retainer services where you can come and talk to me for an hour. I allow them to do VIP days or strategy sessions. And this retainer service is what they pay on a monthly basis to allow themselves to have that flexibility to come and book with me, to come and speak to me about different problems that they have going on in their business. And is it a way, it's a way for me to keep that monthly recurring revenue, to make that aspect of business more predictable, right? So that's another thing. So far we've gone over raising your prices and in considering that value and your time, what your time is worth. Number 2 is scalability. So are you only offering one-on-one or do you offer something else? So in addition to my one-on-ones, like I said, I have that number 3, that continuity aspect, which is the retainer service. And I also do group coaching, right? So offering things that are also scalable in addition to one-on-one, if that's what you want to do. Number 4 is mass selling. So instead of constantly having to hop on one-on-one sales calls, try to switch to something where you can do a mass selling event. And there's multiple ways to do this, so I won't jump into all of them. But number 1, you can hire people to do the sales calls for you, right? So for example, if maybe you can only do 3 sales calls a day, if you hire 5 other people who can do 5 sales calls a day, that's 15 sales calls, right? So that's one option, especially if you're selling something that's higher ticket and you have to talk to these people one-on-one. The other option is, hey, maybe you go to professional events and you talk to people in person, or you do public speaking events and you get to pitch your product or pitch your service to a mass array, to a wide range of people, right? So different options for mass selling there. And then the third one, of course, is webinars, right? Getting people and inviting people to a free webinar that you're hosting and do your mass selling there to the people who have attended your webinar. All different things and changes that I've implemented in my business to hit that 6-figure mark. The last thing is focusing on the top 20%. And this is obviously going to require some analytics and some data analytics and stuff. And if you're not good at that, then I suggest you hire someone. But I read this in a book, I read this in multiple books, and people say it all the time, and I say it, and it's so true. 80% of your sales come from 20% of your people, okay? And so focusing on that 20% who are going to be continuously giving you your money. You have to figure out who that 20% is. What is their makeup? What are they like? What are they interested in? What is common amongst this 20% of people who are buying from you, right? There's no point in chasing after customers who aren't gonna buy. That's that 80%. There's no point in chasing after them and trying to force them to buy. You're better off focusing on that 20% of people who will buy and figuring out how you can continue to sell to them and make products, services, or whatever it may be that is of interest to them. And so that's exactly what I did, right? I started focusing on these 20%, focusing on what they needed, what was of interest to them, how I could make myself more valuable to them. And so then I could either bring them up on my scale and start bringing them into these higher in-depth levels of working with me, which is usually a one-on-one, or how I can offer them unique snippets of how, okay, you really want to see this transformation, I can get that for you, right? So really getting down deep into the data and understanding what it is that makes those 20% buy and identifying those 20%. Okay, so these are the 5 most important changes that I made in my business to hit six figures. And let me know which one of these you found the most helpful. If you're a professional woman preparing to start your business, then click the link in my bio to get your free guide on the 10 crucial steps every new business owner needs to know. And if you're interested in business coaching, you can also book a session with me at the link in my bio. Okay guys, make sure you follow me on all my social media, Sephora Gray Esquire, Sephora Gray on Facebook, and I will see you on my next one. Thanks so much. Bye.